Norway's coastal waters are home to the largest stocks of cod in the world. People have been fishing here since the Viking era, and among the more exotic products to be made from the species is stockfish. But what explains it costing up to 50 euros a piece? One of the world's biggest producers shows us the operations involved. Meanwhile, everyone here knows that cod stocks are dwindling. Temperatures up here in the Arctic region of Norway can stay below zero as late as April. When it comes to making stockfish, that's ideal conditions. For family-run company Sufi, stockfish is a key product. Ingar Halland is the firm's marketing expert.
We have the right temperature, right wind, right humidity, so you get a good drying process. So it doesn't get sour, it doesn't rotten, it just gets dried. When you soak it, it's a harder texture, it's a little more chewy, but in a good way, and you get a more mature flavor.
The drying process, which lasts from January through early April, requires sub-zero temperatures, the sea breeze and the sun. Every weekday, local fishing boats return with their haul from the Barents Sea. Their only customer, Sufi, pulls in revenue of around 50 million euros a year from the fish. A major part of the catches is shipped straight to buyers across Europe. But what sells better, the fresh or the dried variety?
Everything is depending on the market. When the market for the fresh fish is good, then we sell the fish fresh. So we are always looking for the best price on the product. So if the best price is on the fresh fish, it goes fresh, like this fish. And of course, the stockfish is a gamble because you have to produce it in the winter and you only get to know 6 months later what the price will be. But sometimes you have to gamble a little as well.
It's a half-hour drive to the factory where the cod is dried and turned into stockfish. Thousands of cod in the storage rooms here make for a strong smell. Among many questions our reporter had, how much does stockfish actually cost?
So I guess about 50 euros per kilo.
50?
Yeah, at least.
And that would be like 50 euros?
Yeah.
Wow.
But of course, then you put it to water and soak it, and it will expand about 4 times. Yeah. So yeah. So then the kilo price after soaking is 12, 13 euros.
50 euros obviously means selecting the very best fish available. They're then prepared for shipping, which also includes them being flattened in a press to fit more onto each pallet. The company's biggest buyers are Nigeria and various countries in southeastern Europe, where stockfish is extremely popular.
This is prima quality. That's the top quality in Italy. So this has the highest price, best quality. It has a nice skin, good length, good volume, and no issues on the skin, no defaults. And inside it has a fresh smell of the stockfish.
Fresh being a matter of opinion there, of course. Down south in the Spanish city of Seville, it's springtime, and you can find bacalao, as it's known here, on plenty of restaurant menus. The first job for the owner of Casa Rufino is to chop up this stockfish and soak it in water. After being left to swell up for 10 days, it regains its original size. Even after the preservation process, the fish has this fresh taste. It keeps brilliantly well and is still a traditional dish in Spain. Here in Spain, you can have the battered and fried variety, soldaditos de pavia, or you have it served in a tomato sauce, bacalao con tomate. Bacalao is the name for stockfish in various parts of southern Europe. Back in Norway, stocks of cod have been declining for over a decade now. The European Union has fishing quotas for the Baltic and North Seas, which also apply to Norway. How likely is it that the stocks will manage to recover?
It is the biggest cod stock we have, and it is one of the biggest fish stocks globally. And now we are in danger to losing it. And we not only lost the Newfoundland cod stock, which was actually the biggest fish stock in the whole world, but we also lost the cod stocks in the Baltic Sea and North Sea and Greenland. So there's really a big, chance in a negative way that we lose this important fish stock.
In 1954, stocks of cod in the waters of northern Norway peaked at over 4 million tons. By 1983, overfishing and other factors saw that figure drop by 3/4. While stocks had recovered to almost 4 million tons in 2013, they've since dropped back down to around 1 million. This is just one of the countless fishing boats that set out to supply the big factory on land. The world's biggest stocks of cod are found here in the coastal waters of the Barents Sea. And while the fish is now partially protected by quotas, the men on board have noticed the decline in numbers.
It has been reduced with maybe 20 to 30% from last year to this year. And it has, and maybe the quota should have gone faster down than the regulations say. If we had started to fish less earlier, maybe we'd have been in a better situation now.
As a result, the fish they catch are now 10 to 20% more expensive, although customers don't seem to mind. And the fishermen themselves say they could manage with smaller hauls, which is after all key to supplies of cod and stockfish returning to previous levels.